another video with 21s with pops. We're going to do some body weight workout, and it's going to be 6 exercises, 21 reps consecutive, and we'll be done with this video. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe, share with your friends. We're trying to grow this thing to 1 million plus. I asked God for 1 million plus, and I believe you to be one of those millions. So here we go. We're going to start out with sit-ups.
Now, that's rather odd, especially when you consider that thinking is the highest function of which a human being is capable, and all the great leaders all down through history have been in complete and unanimous agreement that you and I become what we think about. Now, play with that for a moment. It's a subject that is not taught in school. It's the highest function of which we're capable, and every great leader that has ever lived all told us that you and I become what we think about most of the time.
And we'll get started right
now. Dr. Rampell wrote a paper, Tools for Teaching Thinking. He said thinking is a skill which can be learned just as we learn skills such as typing and playing the piano.
21.
Now, I said few public schools offer courses devoted expressly to teaching thinking. Rather,
have
we are
equipment coming,
expected to learn and teach thinking as a byproduct of learning mathematics,
cameras in, figure out how to
science,
hook them all up and link them all together.
And he said we do in fact learn a lot about thinking in this way.
With sit-ups,
The trouble is we learn our thinking
we're going to go right into calf raises and squats after that.
And we never put it together as an overall picture. If asked to describe what all is required in order to think effectively, most people would be at a loss to give a complete account. Thus, we are unable to assess our own thinking skills or systematically teach the skill of thinking to others.
12.
Now,
13,
consider this for a moment.
14.
When you think,
15,
you think in
16,
pictures.
17.
Check it out.
18.
I'm going to suggest that you
19,
think of the home you live in,
20,
and as you do,
21.
Realize that an image of your home comes onto the screen of your mind. It's almost as if there's a screen right through the center of our head, and the second we think of our home, the picture of the home comes onto the screen of our mind.
Goes right there.
Now I want to suggest that you think of your automobile, and the second you think of your automobile, the picture of the home is gone, and the picture of the automobile is there.
We're going to do push-ups because
your backyard.
That way I don't have to move my mat twice.
You work or go to
We're going to do push-ups right now, and then we'll go into calf raises and squats. Here we go.
We literally think in pictures. Now I'm going to suggest that you think of your mind.
Here we go.
Now, when most people think of their mind, they get an image of the brain.
4.
How many thought of the brain?
6. 7.
Quite a few hands going up.
9. 10.
And yet, you know, the brain is not the mind any more than the fingernail is.
13, 14, 15,
paradoxically, the
16,
fingernail
17,
and the brain
18,
is the mind.
19.
You see, mind is an activity, and body is the manifestation of that activity. And we're going to find out as we go along through the morning this afternoon.
So we're done with
that the body is really nothing but an instrument of the mind. Now,
move my mat.
Your brain is comprised of hundreds of thousands of cells. Into these cells, we impregnate pictures or images. And as we think, we activate that particular group of brain cells, and the picture that's in them flashes on the screen.
Adjust the camera.
Now, I'm going to come
We're
back
done
to
with
that in
those.
just a moment.
And we'll get right into the calf raises
and the squats. Exercise book. At the top of the page, it's talking about me and money. Now, when you think of yourself and you think of money, what kind of a picture do you get?
Ready?
You know, the vast majority of people get a picture of poverty.
4.
And what we want to do is take and build cells of recognition in your brain for prosperity.
12,
so we're talking about
13,
me
14,
and money.
15,
That's you
16,
and your money.
17, 18.
Now we say
19,
the program was written
20,
in the
21.
sincere hope that it would lead you. And that's all we could do is lead you. It's like Dr. Billy B. Sharp in Chicago.
We're halfway down.
He said a person will not learn something until they discover it for themselves.
We're down 3 of 6.
We just actually want to lead
like I said, if you ever feel any pain, any strain or anything like that, stop that exercise immediately.
To the many discoveries that lie within
you want to
you.
eat the right
And we're
foods,
going
very
to do
important.
that through the repetition
red
of
meat,
prosperous ideas.
fish,
What we
pasta,
want to do is
chicken,
tell you one thing,
vegetables,
10,000
rice,
times
beans.
and 10,000 different
Make sure you
ways.
stay
And
hydrated,
we're going to
drink plenty of
cause
water,
pictures to
juices.
fly on the
Those
screen
are
of
always
your
good.
mind until
Okay, we're going to
you
get right
get
into these squats.
a clear picture of greatness and prosperity locked up within you, because that's what they're.
Here we go.
Regardless of whether you understand that or not at this point.
1,
Now,
2,
we're suggesting that
3,
you start to see money.
4,
Whenever you think of money,
5,
see this stuff
6,
as an obedient, diligent
8,
servant.
9,
You're the master,
10,
gets the servant. And
11,
don't ever get that equation
12,
reversed, or you're going to
13,
find yourself in very,
14,
very deep trouble. You
15,
can use this to
16,
provide service
17,
far beyond your own
18,
physical presence.
19.
If you and I had no
20,
money, we'd still be able to
21.
provide service, but the service
Okay,
that we
that's it.
provided would be confined
Let's
to our
squats.
physical presence at any given
We're gonna
place
go
or any
into
given time. However,
Standing burpees,
if
and then
we had
jumping
some
jacks, and
money,
we'll be done.
we could provide
video
that
for
service
today.
far beyond our own physical presence. So
I want
let's
you
make
guys to know the
certain
reason
that
why I
we get
haven't
that
done
program into
videos in
those
the last
cells
couple of days
properly.
because
Now
I
you
had
can
strain in my arm.
further. We're going to say
I'm not going to be
here
out
that
here
lack
telling
and
you guys
limitation
to stop working
can
out and
only
doing strains
exist when we make
when
room
we're doing
for
those
them in our
exercises
mind.
and then
But
not do it yourself.
prosperity
So
consciousness
I had to
knows
take a
no
couple days
lack
off,
and
but
it
we're
knows
back.
no limitation.
We're going to get
Now,
right into these
I want to
standing burpees
suggest
right
that
now.
you resolve to just completely take the lid off your
Ready?
marvelous mind. Just blow it away.
Hands up.
And let the greatness
Let's go.
start to flow around in there. Now, flip
1,
over to the next page.
2, 3,
When we start thinking about
4,
money, and we start thinking
5,
about ourselves, as I suggested,
6,
we get images on the screen of our mind.
7,
Now, on page 6, we say
8,
throughout your entire Born Rich seminar, your attention is directed
10,
at the importance of your mind.
11,
The type of thoughts and ideas
12,
which occupy your consciousness are of
13,
paramount importance in developing prosperity in your life.
15,
Your mind is either in an orderly
16,
or a confused state. Order
17,
must prevail. John mentioned that
18,
a little earlier. Order
19,
and movement are what necessary.
20,
Well, we start with the order.
21.
So we say order must prevail in your mind if you ever hope to see it
One more
manifest in your
exercise,
material
we've done
world. Now,
this video.
you want order in your material
Again,
world. That
Thank you
means
guys for
meaningful
for
relationships.
joining me. If I
That
show up,
means
you show up. You
prosperity
show up,
and
I'll
growth
show up.
in our
This is
business.
daily. Unless there's some reason why I
It
can't
could
do
mean
it,
all
I'll be out
kinds of
here every
things
day.
that are
Trust me.
good,
I
but they
promise
all
you.
have to
Give me
start
90
in
days.
here. Everything
This program,
starts
you
in our
will see
mind.
results.
Well, if we're
When
going to
you eat
have
right,
order in
do
our
these
mind, we
exercises at
must
least
have an image of our mind,
2-3
and
times
most
a day.
people don't have.
You're going to see results.
So what we're going to do
Okay,
as
so
we
we're
go
done
through the
with-
seminar is
we're done with
build
our
brain
sit-ups,
cells. Now
done
that
with
may
our
sound a
push-ups,
little strange to some
we're
of you.
done with our
You may be
calories, our
sitting there
squats,
and thinking, well,
our
this is
standing burpees.
ridiculous. How can I
Now we're
build
gonna do
brain
jumping
cells
jacks.
sitting watching this
We'll be done with
box?
this video.
Well, I can assure you
Ready?
that you can, and I'm going
Here
to
we go.
convince you very shortly
1,
that you're able to.
2,
Now, what
3,
I'm going to do,
4,
I'm going to use different
5,
examples
6,
as we go through this
7,
seminar,
8,
and
9,
each one of these examples
11,
are real,
12,
live examples. Every one of them.
14, 15,
This
16,
is a letter
17,
that I
18,
received on
19,
February the
20,
18th, 1986.
Yeah.
It came from Joanne White. She was the regional administrator to the vice president of sales
I love
for the
doing this, you
Metropolitan
guys.
Insurance Company in Kansas City.
I really love doing it.
Now, Joanne was in a seminar
I like the
there
comments that
in
I'm getting.
January of 1986.
You know, that
This letter
People let me know
is
that they're being
dated
helped with these
February
exercises.
of 86.
So I'll keep doing it.
And when
keep
Joanne
doing it
came to
because
the
I love doing it.
seminar in
The idea of
1986,
giving back.
she told me a
It's good.
fascinating story.
Thank you once again.
Now, apparently,
for joining me. Like
she
and
had come to a
subscribe.
seminar that I conducted
Share with
in
your
Kansas
friends.
City 10 years prior to this in 1976.
And I'll see you guys on the next one.
Now, I didn't remember
Talks
Joanne,
out.
nor did I remember her son, who she was telling me the story of. But when she told me what happened